What I tried doing initially was taking a little screwdriver and prying that out of there, maybe trying to pry the spring out of there, but it was in there pretty good and I didn't want to like break this end up too much. As you can tell, I did chew it up some. So I'm just going to show you how to actually remove that whole piece altogether. All you're going to need is a small crosshead or Phillips, kind of like for glasses. And you're going to start right on the top. Underneath the sticker is your first screw there. And I removed this bottom plate, but you don't need to do that. So we're going to remove this and just pull the cap off, retain the screw in the cap, that aside. Okay, and then we're going to take the little hose out, just pull right out, and then this screw right here is what holds everything into the base, and we're just going to remove that. This is the long screw. Okay, over here. And now this whole thing should just pop out. Just push straight up on it, slides out. Okay. You don't need to remove this screw right here. In fact, if you do remove it, it's kind of a pain to get that spring back under there to have spring pressure there. So now what we're going to do is just remove the back here. Should pull right out. And then this should pull off as well. You see, kind of just, there we go. Kind of comes off. I was just pushing like that. Okay, and then there's this little screw here. I hope the camera angles aren't too atrocious. I'm doing my best. Okay. Removing this screw, and I'm holding this piece down. There's a spring inside of there. Okay, the screw is gone. Taking this flat off. You see there's a spring in there. And here's our little safety. We'll just pull that out. Has the spring. My spring's a little wanged up from prying on it. Get rid of that. All right, the spring goes inside of this slot right here and pushes against this bit right here. So there's a slot and a slot. So what I did was I put the spring in the slot, and then, like, not all the way in. If you see, it's kind of standing up. And then what I'm going to try to do is take this, put the slot side down, and then just try to put this lip on the top of the spring. There. That was easy. Press the spring slightly, and then we're just going to put this screw back in. Now you're going to put this piece back on. It goes like this. It helps if you flip it around and look at this side. There's this notch right here on this piece, and there's this groove right here, and they just kind of go together. So just like that. Okay. And then we'll just slide this back together. Goes together just like that. And there's a little hole right here. And this little plastic piece will go in there. So we're just gonna line up the main slot, drop this down, and then wiggle this little metal piece until it lines up. It can also slide back and forth, but it looks like we're almost, wait, not quite lined up. There we go. Now we're in. Okay. we go. Okay. And then you just take the little rubber hose, slide it back in here. And this last little piece, and you'll see this screw will go in that hole. And screw that back down. Okay, and you're done. My torch doesn't have butane in it because it didn't come with butane, even though it seems like it does from all the flammable warning stickers. But now you can see it's clicking, it's not locking.